let's start this off by talking about my day. So I wake up in the morning, pretend I'm working out, probably at 6 a.m., and hit the weight plate and snap a picture of me doing some weights, showing people that I'm a fitness guy. Maybe next, during the day, I grab some breakfast. I realize my breakfast looks pretty good. Let's drop this on the gram, show people I'm a foodie. Show people that I'm artistic. Then I head off to work, show people I'm innovative, showing people that I'm really breaking boundaries and being a leader in corporate. Kind of gives you a corporate vibe, right? Then I kind of tackle my side projects, my side hustles, learning how to code in Alexa development. That's exciting. I show people that I'm a technology guy. Maybe I left an assignment for the last minute, and I'm straying away the last minute nights, doing the last minute project, showing people I'm a bookworm and I'm a school guy. And when it's all done and said, maybe I just enjoy the night, really party going kind of guy. I don't know if I give that vibe off, but maybe I would do that. So all of this, you might be wondering what this has to do with marketing, what this has to do with branding. I kind of just gave 6 different sides of me, 6 different identities that you wouldn't really consider when you think of me. That's the power of semi-permanence. My whole personality and your whole personality can be differed by a lot of different things that you do, from Instagram to cooking to playing video games. Your identity is whatever you want it to be, and it's super fluid and it's super dynamic. So brands and companies are starting to realize this, that consumer tastes and preferences are changing super fast and super fluidly and super dynamically. And that's something that's changing the world of how marketing is being done. And if you think about it, traditionally, marketing has been around the idea of basic products and basic care variables, around the core product of price, convenience, ease of use, customer service, all these things that we take for granted now when we're dealing with a product or service. If you think about how that's traditionally what just works for marketing in the past and with commodities, but times have changed, and marketers are quickly soon realizing that the initial product and brands that they kind of created aren't really relevant and aren't the initial experience that they were intending for. I think the best thing to do is look at a couple examples, because I'm an examples kind of guy. If we look at Coca-Cola, they started off with this amazing sugary drink. I see a couple of you guys drinking that. But they kind of evolved into the health conscious. People don't want to drink sugar anymore. People don't want these preservatives and chemicals. That's why they created Coke Zero and Diet Coke. Or if we look at more of a traditional example, Botox. Botox used to be an experience that was fun-filled, and it was a cosmetic experience for fun-filled. But now it's a medical procedure for anti-aging. If you think about how fast brands are changing because of their consumer tastes and preferences, the marketers have responded by constantly repositioning and rebranding. While this certainly isn't really a bad thing, it's actually quite celebrated in modern marketing theory. If you think about Coca-Cola and Botox, they really spent a lot of marketing dollars, manpower, a lot of resources just so that they can position to the ever-changing consumer. I think there has to be a better way, and I think that concept is semi-permanence. Now, semi-permanence, in my definition, is really around allowing your business model to be less rigid, to be more fluid, and allowing your consumers, allowing you to change and shape the experience that you want it to be. It's focused around companies being proactive in their branding rather than reactive. And this phrase, I just want to give credit where credit's due, was coined by Antoinette, and we worked on this on a school project, and we kind of were super excited by the results around it. So I think the best way to illustrate this concept is looking at a couple of examples. And like you know, I'm an examples guy, so let's look at the first one. So any of you with tattoos know that if you have a job interview or if you're meeting with family for the first time, you don't want to show off your tattoo sleeve. It might give off the wrong impression. Even though times are changing now, it's still kind of a taboo. Inkbox has realized this and really focused on the real idea of semi-permanence. They really focused around temporary tattoos and allowing their users, their customers, to really focus and shape their experiences however they want. If you're trying to get a tattoo of a loved one, you don't have to wait till that breakup is to regret the tattoo. Those 2 weeks or the month that the Inkbox temporary tattoos last are enough, and then you can choose to define your tattoo experience for the next time. So it's really allowing you to shape your own experience and really staying literally semi-permanent. Another great example is subscription boxes. I love subscription boxes because it allows you to face a new experience every single month. One month you might be feeling a certain way, another month you might be feeling another way. I like to use the example of Sprezza Box. Sprezza Box is for the classy kind of man who wants different accessories in their wardrobe. Well, some months I might be feeling super formal, but other months I want to feel a little bit colorful, a little bit free, and maybe I want bow ties rather than neckties some month. So Sprezza Box and a lot of other subscription boxes have really catered to this idea and really focused around that kind of concept of being semi-permanent with its brand. And that's what's allowed subscription boxes to be super successful. Another example is revolved around food. Just to clarify, I'm not a foodie, but this is a pretty good picture. Freshie is a favorite brand now because of its idea of being healthy. And even though it is healthy, it allows consumers to really shape how healthy they want to be or how unhealthy they want to be. If you add your proteins and you add your sauces, you're being unhealthy. But the consumers choose how they want to define their culinary experience with Freshie. And as a result, they actually choose an experience entirely unique to them with Freshie. And that's a powerful concept. A culinary experience has usually been in a box. You get what you want, you get your McDouble, you get your junior chicken, but now you're really defining what you want it to be. And it's way more than just customization. It's a lifestyle. It's what's allowed Freshie to embody, it's what's allowed Freshie to be embodied into the consumers. So really powerful stuff with Freshie and their semi-permanence. Another one of my favorite examples is Google Home and more the voice landscape. If you think about if you have a Google Home or not, the power that Google has done to its developers have allowed them to take key words and key phrases instead of taking the full sentences. What this means is that you get to interact with the Google Home however you want. If you want to say goodnight to your Google, you could say that. If you wanted to do powerful tasks like scheduling for you, you could do that too. Your voice experience is defined by however you want it to be, and that's super powerful because it allows users to be semi-permanent. One day they can be shouting at their Google Home and because they're having a rough day. The other moment they could be saying, "Hey Google, tell me a joke." I hope no Google devices go off right now. So that's kind of the idea that Google and even Amazon is working towards it, have allowed users to be semi-permanent in the way they interact with their devices. And that's why voice is becoming super imminent right now. One of my favorite examples, who here has a Snapchat account? I'm probably not on it anymore because Kendall Jenner told me not to. But Snapchat once upon a time used to be the juggernaut of video and media sending. If you think about it, Snapchat has allowed users to send temporary media that can literally embody the thought of semi-permanence. If you think about it, you can do exactly what I did in the beginning of the presentation by showing off that you're being a fitness guy and you're a study guy. You're being a corporate guy, you're being, playing video games. So that's super powerful what Snapchat has allowed you to do to shape your own identity in a temporary fashion. You can choose to display who you are in 24 hours, and the next 24 hours you're someone else. That's the power of semi-permanence that's allowed you to really shape your own experience, and that's what allows Snapchat to be super successful. And if you think about it, if you think about their future, they've integrated Bitmojis and other things that have allowed you to define your Snapchat experience a lot more. And that's what's allowed Snapchat to reach to the pinnacle that it is today. So kind of to bring this all back, semi-permanence is something that you should be thinking about when you're working at the companies that you're going to be working at, when you're going to be starting the companies you're at, when you're scaling these companies, because it's important to think about how you're communicating with your customers. Me and you are changing super fast in every single second. 1 minute I might give you the vibe that I'm a good speaker, the other I might be pacing around backwards. So it's all about the perception that you give to people and the identity that you face. And if brands are less formal and less structured and more fluid with their business models and their marketing and branding models, that allows them to really unlock something really special and really realizing a lot of value. So really take away semi-permanence when you're thinking about branding. Thank you.